Peggy Whitson, commander of AX4.
I'm Group Captain Shubhanshu Shukla, and I am the mission pilot for Axiom Mission.
I am Sławosz Uznański-Wiśniewski, ESA project astronaut from Poland.
My name is Tibor Kapu, and I'm mission specialist for AX4.
Stage 2, LOX load complete.
Seated left to right inside Dragon from this camera's perspective, you have Tibor Kapu there on the left-hand side. Then beside him is our pilot, Shubhanshu Shukla. Then to the other side is Commander Peggy Whitson, and then Wiśniewski of ESA.
Dragon, SpaceX, go for launch. T-minus 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Ignition and liftoff.
For three nations, a new chapter in space takes flight. Godspeed, AX4.
30 seconds into flight with the Axiom 4 crew on board Dragon, headed to the International Space Station. We're throttling down the 9 Merlin engines. We're into the throttle bucket, preparing for max Q.
Now, at this point, we are just about 30 seconds away from 4 events that are going to happen in rapid succession. The first one will be main engine cutoff, or MECO. Then again, followed by stage separation, ignition of that second stage engine, which we are already preparing for, as well as the first stage's boost back burn.
MECO. Stage separation confirmed. Stage 1 boost back startup and back ignition.
There we had confirmation of all 4 of those events. Incredible views on our screen here, too, as that boost back, as that first stage boosts its way back to Earth.
Stage 2 Alpha.
And confirmation
Copy,
from our
2 Alpha.
commander that we have entered the 2 Alpha abort mode. The view you have on your screen right now is our MVAC engine burning for that second engine first burn. We're expecting that SECO here, second engine cutoff, which will likely be called out over the nets as SECO in just a couple of minutes. Confirmation that the boost back burn on our first stage booster is now complete, and the booster is heading back toward the Florida coast to attempt a landing at LZ1.
First view of the crew. They're inside Dragon. Second stage continuing to fire. Getting good views of the MVAC-D engine. There are a couple of cameras on the back of the second stage that give these views. And now here is entry burn callout. This is going to be about a 12-second burn. That's going to slow the vehicle down. You can watch that.
Entry burn shutdown.
There you just saw on the left-hand side of your screen that first stage entry burn shutdown. Right now on your screen, we've got great views of our second stage and take our AX4 crew to orbit. The next milestone for our first stage is going to be the landing burn, where we'll relight just the center engine. Confirmation that stage 1 is now transonic on its way back to LZ1, which is just about 9 miles away from our liftoff location today. LZ1, of course, is the site of the first successful landing attempt, and hopefully it will be the second time that this particular booster sticks its landing.
Stage 2 FTSS saved. Stage 1 landing confirmed.
That was a picture-perfect landing. That was great.
Absolutely stunning.
So coming up next for our crew, now that we've confirmed that booster touchdown, is going to be second engine cutoff, also called out as SECO. Then the second stage will coast for a few minutes until Dragon is commanded to separate from the second stage. There's our AX4 crew awaiting that SECO call out here. Good continued burn from our second stage engine there. Now at this point, our crew is experiencing about 3 Gs in the lead up to SECO 1, which of course will be their first taste of microgravity.
SpaceX Dragon, Shannon.
There's confirmation
Copy, Shannon.
of the Shannon abort mode.
MVAC shutdown. SpaceX Dragon, we have a nominal orbit insertion.
Nominal orbital insertion, SpaceX, and we had an incredible ride uphill, and now we like to set our course for the International Space Station aboard the newest member of the Dragon fleet, our spacecraft named Grace. Grace reminds us that spaceflight is not just a feat of engineering, but an act of goodwill. The benefit of every human, everywhere. Over to you, Chip.
Welcome, Earthlings, from Grace. We are in the new Dragon capsule, and we are very happy with her. She's got a little bit of a new spacecraft smell, and we're loving her a bunch.
It's an amazing feeling to be in orbit for the first time. When I unbuckled for the first time, I didn't feel 100% everything settled, and when I looked out through the window for the first time, the view was just stunning. You can show the view through the window. Okay. And over to Shuks.
Hello everyone, Namaskar from space. I'm thrilled to be here with my fellow astronauts, as Peggy said, 1 veteran and 3 rookies, and wow, what a ride it was. Frankly, when I was sitting in the capsule in Grace yesterday on the launch pad, my only thought in my mind was that let's just go. After 30 days of quarantine, it was a feeling that I just wanted to go. The excitement and all was probably far away. It was just the feeling that let's just leave here. But when the ride started, it was something like you getting pushed back into the seat. It was an amazing ride. The capsule itself, Grace, has been very kind. I was not feeling very great when we, got shot into the vacuum. But since yesterday, I've been told that I've been sleeping a lot, which is a good sign. So I think that's a great sign. I'm getting used to this quite well, enjoying the views, enjoying the entire experience, learning like a baby, learning the new steps, learning how to walk, learning how to control yourself, everything, learning how to eat, I think. So it's a new environment, new challenge, and I'm really enjoying this experience with my fellow astronauts here. It's good to make mistakes, but it's better to see somebody else do that too. So it has been a fun time up here.
When the launch happened, it was a feeling that I could not predict. We have been trying to prepare for those minutes and seconds for a long time, including the centrifuge training, including fighter jet trainings as well. But the rocket launch is completely something else. I was really, really happy that we could do this finally, and we also wanted to thank you thanks for everyone around the world, and every person, every team who made this beautiful day happen, because finally our day came.
कुछ चीज़ें कल 1 महीने क्वारंटीन में रहने के बाद कल हम लोग लॉन्च पैड 39 से लॉन्च हुए, जहाँ से पहली मून लैंडिंग, जहाँ से अपोलो 11 मिशन भी लॉन्च हुआ था. तो आइए मेरे साथ इस जर्नी का हिस्सा बनिए. मेरी पूरी कोशिश रहेगी कि अगले 14 दिनों में मेरा जो मिशन एकम्प्लिशमेंट है, जो टास्क है, वो तो मैं अचीव करूँ ही, बट ज़्यादा से ज़्यादा इस एक्सपीरियंस को मैं किस तरह से अपनी फ़ोटोज़ और वीडियोज़ में कैप्चर करूँ, ताकि मैं वापस आके आप लोगों के साथ इसे शेयर कर सकूँ. मैं चाहता हूँ कि आप मेरे थ्रू ये जर्नी एक्सपीरियंस करें और इसका हिस्सा बनें. एंड चलिए अगले 14 दिन को एक्साइटिंग बनाते हैं और साथ में स्पेस में रहते हैं. धन्यवाद. Somewhere we lost our commander. We need to find it, even though it's such a small space. So I would like her to come and say a few words for us, please.
Well, everyone knows how much I like to talk. Anyways, it's just been a great experience so far. We're really looking forward to it. We have a lot of science here down below us, and we're looking forward to getting on board the International Space Station and getting that underway. You know, we have a lot of very high scientific goals, but obviously realizing the return of these three countries to space is very special.
Oh, and look at that. Another shot out of the window, looking back at our home, the Earth. It doesn't get any better than that. Live of planet Earth. And here we are actually seeing some views of the ISS, of the International Space Station, from Dragon. Absolutely. And it looks as though Dragon is currently underneath the International Space Station. We're looking almost up at it from underneath. At the bottom of the screen, you can see where Dragon is over the Earth.
Waypoint 0 has been achieved, and now they're making their way on to Waypoint 1. Dragon Grace spacecraft continuing its methodical approach to the International Space Station. As you can see, Dragon Grace making its way with the nose cone open, and you can see that strobe in the middle.
3 of the crew members that we have on board AX4 are first-time flyers to low Earth orbit and to the International Space Station.
Dragon now perfectly aligned over top of the International Space Station, now looking down at that Node 2 Zenith port. And a great view of the SpaceX Dragon Grace spacecraft. Glacial approach to the International Space Station, and the view from the space station looking up.
SpaceX copies, visors down. SpaceX crew is go for docking.
Dragon is on final approach and is go for docking. Monitor per steps 5 and 6 and 1.102.
Inside 10 meters, a little less now than 30 feet away, is all that separates Dragon Grace from the International Space Station. Continued communications as Nicole Ayers once again floating into that pressurized mating adapter and continuing those hatch opening procedures to welcome Axiom Mission 4. And as Nicole Ayers continues to work on that hatch, you'll also see that hatch be covered up. Expedition 73 crew anxiously awaiting as we just received the go for hatch opening to welcome Axiom Mission 4 into the International Space Station. And we are going to see the first views of Axiom Mission 4. Commander Peggy Whitson, the first one across the A-Pass hatch, receiving great big hugs from Nicole Ayers and the Expedition 73 crew. Axiom Mission 4, welcome aboard the International Space Station. Pilot Shubhanshu Shukla is the next one to come across, representing ISRO. It is his first space flight for Peggy Whitson, her return to the International Space Station on her 5th flight, second as a member of Axiom Space. Sławosz Uznański-Wiśniewski of ESA, representing the nation of Poland, and their first visit to the International Space Station is next to cross the hatchway, and warm hugs all around, and applause breaking out here inside of Mission Control Houston and International Space Station Flight Control Room, and Tibor Kapu, the 4th and final member of Axiom Mission 4, representing Hunor and the nation of Hungary, their first visit to the International Space Station as well. Anne McLean and Nicole Ayers of NASA, along with Johnny Kim, Kirill Peskov, Sergei Ryzhikov, and Alexei Zabritsky of Roscosmos, and Takuya Onishi, commander of Expedition 73 and of JAXA, with handshakes and hugs for Peggy Whitson, Shubhanshu Shukla, Sławosz Uznański-Wiśniewski, and Tibor Kapu.
Grace crew, welcome aboard the International Space Station. First of all, Peggy, welcome back.
Thank you.
It's a great honor and privilege to have such a legendary astronaut like you on board with us. And Tibor, Shuks, and Sław, congratulations on your first space flight. And we've been waiting for you guys so long, and we are so happy to see your all smiling faces.
I'd like to give these guys their astronaut pins. So we'll start with Shubhanshu Shukla, astronaut number 634.
Thank you, Peggy. Oh, so I am number 634. That's a privilege. But to be fair, it is a privilege to be amongst the few who have got the chance to see the Earth from a vantage point that I have been able to see now. It has been a wonderful ride. It has been great, and I was looking forward to come to space. It is something to look forward to as such. But the minute I entered the International Space Station and you guys, this crew, you just made me feel so welcome, as if you literally opened your doors, like your house doors for us. That's true. So, but it was fantastic. I feel even better. Whatever expectation I had of coming here, they were surpassed by the view, of course. That's the big part of it, but by you guys as well. So thank you so much. I think this was fantastic. एक छोटा सा संदेश मेरे प्यारे देशवासियों के लिए, आपके प्यार और आशीर्वाद से सुरक्षित मैं इंटरनेशनल स्पेस स्टेशन पे पहुंच चुका हूँ। बहुत आसान दिख रहा है यहाँ खड़े होना, लेकिन थोड़ा सा मुश्किल है, थोड़ा सा सर भारी है, थोड़ी तकलीफ हो रही है, लेकिन ये सब बहुत छोटी चीज़ें हैं और कुछ ही दिनों में हम इसके यूज्ड टू हो जाएंगे। ये पहला पड़ाव है इस जर्नी का, और अभी आगे 14 दिन यहाँ पे रह के हम काफ़ी सारे साइंस एक्सपेरिमेंट्स करेंगे, आप लोगों से बातचीत करेंगे। लेकिन कहीं ना कहीं ये जो पड़ाव है ये भी दिखाता है कि ये हमारी अपनी स्पेस जर्नी का भी एक पड़ाव है। मैंने बात की थी आपसे कुछ देर पहले जब मैं ड्रैगन में था, और अभी यहाँ से आगे भी बात करता रहूँगा। चलिए इस जर्नी को बहुत एक्साइटिंग बनाते हैं, बहुत उत्साह से इसमें पार्टिसिपेट करते हैं। मैं बहुत उत्साहित हूँ, और मैं अपने शोल्डर पे अपना तिरंगा जो मैं लेके चल रहा हूँ, मैं मानता हूँ कि आप सब मेरे साथ हैं, तो मैं ये भी समझ लेता हूँ कि आप सब भी मेरे साथ उत्साहित हैं, और मुझे लगता है कि अगले 14 दिन बहुत ही एक्साइटिंग जाने वाले हैं। धन्यवाद। जय हिंद, जय भारत।
Well, thank you again. Thank you again for welcoming us so openly and warmly. We really, really appreciate all of you and all of the team on the ground as well. Thank you.
Houston Station, we are ready.
Prime Minister's Office, this is Mission Control Houston. Please call station for a voice check.
Hello, this is Honorable Prime Minister of India Office. How do you hear me?
अच्छा, शुभ अंतरिक्ष की विशालता देखकर सबसे पहला विचार क्या आया आपको?
प्रधानमंत्री जी, सच में बोलो तो जब पहली बार हम लोग ऑर्बिट में पहुंचे, अंतरिक्ष में पहुंचे, तो पहला जो व्यू था वो पृथ्वी का था, और पृथ्वी को बाहर से देख के जो पहला ख्याल और पहला जो थॉट मन में आया वो ये था कि पृथ्वी बिल्कुल एक दिखती है। मतलब बाहर से कोई सीमा रेखा नहीं दिखाई देती, कोई बॉर्डर नहीं दिखाई देता। और दूसरी चीज़ जो बहुत नोटिसेबल थी, जब पहली बार भारत को देखा तो हम मैप पे पढ़ते हैं भारत को, हम देखते हैं बाकी देशों का आकार कितना बड़ा है, हमारा आकार कैसा है, वो मैप पे देखते हैं, लेकिन वो सही नहीं होता, क्योंकि वो एक हम 3D ऑब्जेक्ट को 2D यानी पेपर पे हम उतारते हैं। भारत सच में बहुत भव्य दिखता है, बहुत बड़ा दिखता है, जितना हम मैप पे देखते हैं उससे कहीं ज़्यादा बड़ा। लगता है कि कोई बॉर्डर एग्जिस्ट ही नहीं करता, कोई राज्य नहीं एग्जिस्ट करता, कंट्रीज़ नहीं एग्जिस्ट करती। फाइनली हम सब ह्यूमैनिटी का पार्ट है, और अर्थ हमारा एक घर है, और हम सब के सब उसके सिटीजन्स हैं।
Hey, Shook, can you come give me a hand? Let's figure out where we're at, Peggy.
Hi, Shooks.
Hi. I guess we should be passing somewhere at the tip of South America.
It is a great time up here. It has been very exciting. We've been quite busy, doing experiments and all the activities that we had. But like Peggy mentioned, we did have one day off, and tomorrow we are go. Oh yeah, and the fantastic thing is, whenever I have downtime, I do go out the window and take a lot of pictures. And I'm sleeping in the Dragon, so I have the luxury of having two windows to myself. So I do that a lot by night. So yeah, all this past year, Peggy has been complaining that I speak too fast. I am very fast. I do a lot of things fast. And for the first few days when I came to this station, I actually became slow. So that was my adaptation to microgravity. But I think it was initial 2 days, and after that, everything became normal. And right now, I think I'm very well adjusted to microgravity. I'm, it's first time for me, so I have no expectations of going back into gravity. The only hope is that I did have some symptoms coming up, so I'm hoping that I will not have going down unless and until I get burst of both the worlds and I get both the time. So you never know.
So, but we've got something we want to show you. Okay. Crews were in microgravity. In case you didn't believe my necklace or flying off the ceiling, we got other things to prove we're in zero gravity. And we're going to do this little thing with water.
Sonia, I've become a water bender here in the station. And I've been with this, so you have to see this.
Oh.
So you can see the water forms a ball in zero gravity because the surface tension of the water itself is actually much stronger. Now that we don't have gravity up here, it actually holds it together. He's got this little
tool.
It's a water bubble moving tool.
Look at that. It's like we're looking at a clear marble, but it's actually a liquid.
Yep.
Is that a bubble inside there?
Yes.
Wow.
A bubble inside a water bubble. I told you I have a water bender.
So you really have acclimated beautifully.
And I'm going to just see what happens when the plastic bag comes in contact with the water.
Slowly.
Oh.
Wow.
Check this out. And what's really kind of cool is it actually is almost like a lens. So let's see what you can see through the.
Missions like this are important milestones for everyone involved, from the crew members who fly, to those that they represent, and to the host of scientists and engineers around the world who have an opportunity for their research or their technology to be tested in microgravity. Everyone learns from these missions. And for Axiom Space, this is at the heart of why we do these missions. We are building opportunities for others to advance what is possible and expand what is known. We want to enable every human everywhere to take part in this. Now, after a beautiful launch on June 25th, the AX-4 crew docked with the International Space Station a little over a day later, opening the hatch and greeting the Expedition 73 crew on June 26th. The crew shared some good words and a welcoming ceremony before quickly getting to work on their extensive itinerary. Now, each crew member brought with them a host of research, technology demonstrations, and outreach objectives, ranging from human physiology to space radiation impact studies, and even some gardening. Now, this crew maintained a very full timeline, but they prepared for this. Each crew member wanted to ensure that every minute of this mission was utilized well, and that all objectives were hit. So Peggy, Shuks, Sław, and Tibor were ready to work. And over the course of 18 days on board the station, they accomplished over 60 research activities, as well as more than 20 outreach events. And as their time on station came to a close, the AX-4 crew participated in a brief farewell ceremony where they said their goodbyes to the Expedition 73 crew.
Thank you, and have a safe flight back home, and we will see you again soon on the ground. Thank you.
You're looking at a live view of SpaceX's Dragon spacecraft Grace as we await its departure from the International Space Station to make its way back to planet Earth.
This over-the-shoulder view is in between Commander Peggy Whitson and pilot Shubhanshu Shukla. Again, the crew got suited up a couple of hours ago. Dragon separation confirmed. And Dragon Grace has officially undocked from the International Space Station as the orbiting laboratory was flying 260 statute miles over the east coast of India. The Axiom Mission 4 crew on board Dragon as it continues its departure from the International Space Station. Again, we had that physical separation take place about 4 minutes ago. Dragon is currently about 80 meters away from the International Space Station as it continues its departure.
Dragon SpaceX on the big loop, depart burn 1 complete and nominal. You are go to DOF suits per procedure 4.012.
The crew is now going to start doffing or removing their spacesuits and getting settled in for their 22.5-hour journey back to Earth, again with that splashdown targeted for tomorrow morning. Departure in deorbit is designed to be fully autonomous, requiring no action from the crew on board. Dragon is now about 195 meters away from the International Space Station.
So in your bottom right-hand corner, you can follow along with this new graphic and see the thrusters firing on Dragon on the forward bulkhead, as well as the telemetry in the bottom left-hand corner. We are in a blackout period. This is an excellent view, seeing Dragon from the ground as it's re-entering back into Earth's atmosphere.
SpaceX Dragon, we have you loud and clear.
And there you can see on your screen, the seats are rotating for the crew. This prepares them for that splashdown for entry and landing. And
excellent view.
Great view. Drogue parachutes are deployed. View looking forward.
Drogue descent rate nominal.
Drogue parachutes are fully deployed now, so we do expect those main parachutes to deploy here shortly.
2.5 minutes out from splashdown, and our main chutes have deployed.
Main chute descent rate nominal.
Great visual confirmation as well as those comms that the 4 main parachutes have deployed.
Copy, 800 meters.
Commander Peggy Whitson confirming the spacecraft's altitude as it's making its descent into the Pacific Ocean just off the coast of San Diego in Southern California.
And at 600 meters, we're just under a minute before that expected splashdown. And it's a little foggy, as you can see there. We've got some very bright lights as Dragon, you can see the ocean there. Dragon is about to touch down in just a few seconds here.
And working their way towards the vehicle are the SpaceX and Axiom support teams that will be present for the next phase of our splashdown coverage today.
And we have splashdown of the AX4 crew back on planet Earth.
Welcome home.
And again, it's a little dark because it's early, very early morning, but you can see the little window on Dragon and the light. Yeah, the little light inside there as the crew is patiently waiting. Recovery operations.
You can now see on the screen SpaceX support personnel beginning the rigging procedures to ensure that the Dragon spacecraft is rigged.
SpaceX, be advised, we're going to step into transitioning the forward link. Comm will be unavailable for approximately 5 minutes. Rigging continues nominally.
You can see on your screen both the fast boat and the recovery vessel Shannon making approach to Grace, our Dragon spacecraft.
There you can see what we call the Dragon nest. When the spacecraft is lifted up out of the water, it's going to seat into that ring that you see there at the end of the recovery vessel there. Looks like we're getting closer. They are pulling the spacecraft towards the recovery vessel. Looks like we're rigged up, and you can see the hydraulic lift moving forward and down, and then it will begin to lift the spacecraft out of the water and again into that Dragon nest that you see there on the recovery vessel. Looks like lift is about to begin.
Dragon SpaceX, rigging is complete. Stand by for capsule lift.
Dragon copies.
Dragon SpaceX, capsule lift in progress, brace.
The spacecraft is currently was just lifted, as you saw, and set on the nest. And from here, it'll be centered and oriented. And then from there, Dragon will be translated into the hangar underneath the helipad aboard the ship so that we can then open the hatch.
Again, next up, we are expecting the translation of the Dragon spacecraft. Again, the spacecraft will translate in preparation for hatch opening and exiting of the vehicle. And we have movement. Translation is beginning. Some residual ocean water flashing down, and then we are washing down the hatch area. Again, just preparing for the vehicle's side hatch to be opened.
So at this point, we can see SpaceX personnel positioning themselves to support in this, as well as the spacecraft making final approaches to that upper landing pad for crew to egress the vehicle. It's a little worn.
A little toasty.
A little toasty. All part of nominal ops, though.
3,500 degrees Fahrenheit
That'll
will do that.
The hatch is open, and ground crews are making first contact with the Axiom 4 crew.
Gives the crew some space to get out of their seats while they are exiting the vehicle.
Now getting some great internal views of the AX4 crew in their spacecraft.
Just now joining us, we are waiting for the AX4 crew to exit.
We can see now crew looking to make the first crew members looking to make their egress from the spacecraft along that slide. And there she is. We see Commander Peggy Whitson, all smiles, exiting the spacecraft Grace. That is a beautiful sight. Peggy Whitson, the AX4 commander, is home, having logged 695 days in space on 5 flights. She is the 7th on the all-time list for most days in space by a human.
And we've got our pilot, Shubhanshu Shukla, as our second crew member exiting the spacecraft. And some big smiles, as you said. India reached a major milestone for the nation's space exploration goals. AX4 pilot Shubhanshu Shukla became the first astronaut to fly from the country's newly established astronaut corps. His participation marks a vital step forward for ISRO's Gaganyaan program, which aims to send Indian astronauts into space aboard domestically developed spacecraft. Shukla's flight demonstrates India's readiness to execute international missions and reflects the country's broader ambitions to become a key player in the global space community. As India continues to expand its capabilities in crewed spaceflight, this mission serves as both a proving ground and a symbol of its commitment to innovation, collaboration, and leadership in space exploration.
And there is Sławosz Uznański-Wiśniewski of Poland. Sław is all smiles for this, which I love to see. Now, Poland's participation in the AX4 mission through the Ignis program marked a pivotal step in the country's growing role in space exploration. Astronaut Sławosz Uznański-Wiśniewski, flying in partnership with the European Space Agency, led a research agenda focused on some of the most pressing challenges in human spaceflight.
And last but not least, mission specialist Tibor Kapu. Hungary marked a significant milestone in its space ambitions with the AX4 mission as astronaut Tibor Kapu became the first Hungarian to reach the International Space Station, and all smiles from him there. His participation under the banner of the Hunor Hungarian to Orbit program represents Hungary's commitment to advancing its role in international space exploration.